All right, brothers. So sorry about that. I had to cut off. But we have to see this thing for what it is, brothers and sisters. And the reason why it is because it says that the prophecy is clear. It said that the enemy, right? It said the enemy look at Revelation chapter 12 and verse 13. Let's get back into the text. And when the dragon saw that he was cast into the earth, he persecuted the woman which brought forth the man child. And to the woman was given 2 wings of a great eagle, that she might fly into the wilderness, into her place where she is nourished for a time and times and a half of times from the face of the serpent. So, the serpent. Hold on a second. Sorry. The serpent was angry with the woman, just like the serpent was in Genesis chapter 3. The serpent was angry with the woman. It says, verse 15, the serpent was angry with the woman. Verse 15, I'm sorry, I jumped the gun. And the serpent cast out his mouth water as a flood after the woman, that he might cause her to be carried away of the flood. You know what the prophet said about the flood? He said, when the enemy comes in like a flood, Yah is coming like a flood, not the enemy. When the enemy comes in, he's bringing his camouflage flood. But Yah said, like a flood, he who is the flood? The flood is the host of angels, ministering spirits. That's why we don't have no fear. The ministering spirits are going to come, and they are going to. The Messiah said, "You shall." He said, "He will give his angels charge over thee, unless thou dash thy foot against a stone. They that wait upon Yah shall renew their strength. They shall mount up on wings like eagles." Right? So the spirit of Yah, when the enemy comes like a flood, the spirit of Yah will lift up a standard against him. That's what we know, and that's what we believe. And we're not afraid. There's no fear. And when you're serving Yah and you're doing right, you're not afraid of death. Only those that are not serving Yah are afraid of death, right? We're not afraid of the devil. We're not afraid of death. Which Shaul said, "Death worketh in us, but life in you." All right, now, so the earth, verse 16, let me get back into it. The earth helped the woman, and the earth opened her mouth and swallowed up the flood which the dragon cast out of his mouth. So what is that saying? The Most High used nature to protect the woman. And the dragon, 17, was wroth with the woman and went to make war with the remnant of her seed, which keep the commandments of Elohim and have the testimony of Yeshua the Messiah. Now, Christendom tells us that the Israelites, that they call Jews, and they were Israelites. Judah's one tribe. But Christianity tells us that they rejected the Messiah. If that be true, then how is that this is already fulfilled? When Israel rejected the Messiah, he was crucified, but this prophecy here says that the enemy Satan was angry with the woman and went to make war with her that keep the commandments and have the testimony of Yeshua. That couldn't have been passed. because the people during the day of the Messiah, they didn't even believe in him. It was only a few. But watch what happens here. Since you say it's already done, all things fulfilled, right? So let's go to the next. Let's go to the next. I have to learn how to work the software. Let's go to the next chapter. Let's go to chapter 13. I'm not going to be lengthy with this because I know it's. If I go here, I can continue to go, and I'll tell you, it's going to be a long one, and I'm not going to do that today. This is the day before the Shabbat. We spend a whole day on the Shabbat where we go and take our precious time. All right. So, and he says, I stood upon the sand of the sea and saw a beast rise up out of the sea, having 7 heads and 10 horns, and upon his horns 10 crowns, and upon his head the names of blasphemy. See that? So now I'm gonna say this, and I've only been on 6 minutes, but I actually came back on because I accidentally shut it down. But I wanted you to close out with this. You have. Let me go through again, and please join us on the Shabbat because I know we go in deep, and this is probably over most people's head. Even the preterists, they got it wrong. They call them I call them the preterists. And I stood upon the sand of the sea and saw a beast rise up out of the sea. Now, who rose up out of the sea? Alexander the Greek. Right? So when Nebuchadnezzar had a dream, he saw 4 beasts. Right? One of the beasts was the king of Grecia, which was Alexander. After Alexander's kingdom was divided into 4, we find ourselves in the time of the Maccabees. During the Maccabees, it says Antiochus Epiphanes, right, was a wicked seed. He had made desecrated the temple and abomination of desolation, right? That was the first time. Well, technically not the first time, but the fulfillment of Daniel's prophecy. But then the Messiah said in Matthew 24, which we just read, that when you see the abomination of desolation, that happened in 70 AD. That's history. So, but this beast that came out to sea, it started in Europe with Alexander the Greek, and then the Roman Empire, right? And the Roman Empire colonized, which the process of colonization continued through England, because England did what? They went into Africa and colonized Africa. See? Same spirit of the beast, same thing, colony, right? America, what do they call it? The colonies. Where they get it from? They got it from their mother Rome. The Roman way of governing is through colonization, by putting their people in place. So, what did they do in America? They colonized America and put their people in place. But the ones that say make America great want the colonies back to the way they were, which is what? The beasts, the children, the seed of the serpent wants to be in control of the system so that they can do what? Continue to reign, rule over the inhabitants of the earth. Why? Because the power was given to them by the beast. You got 2 wings on the bird, and they all on the same bird. Left wing and right wing. Same bird. Okay? Now, so it came out to sea, having 7 heads and 10 horns. You go through the 7. I'm not going to do this less because I did it. I have it on my other channel. And if you're watching this on Ask Malik on my Priest Kazakya channel, later on when I upload it, or if it's uploaded now, of course we're live streaming, you will see I did a lesson on the 7, right? The 7 kingdoms, right? I'll give it to you in a nutshell. The first kingdom that the children of Israel were in captivity to was who? Egypt, right? Egypt, Syria, Babylon, Greece, Rome. Let me back up again. Egypt, Assyria, Babylon, Medes, I forgot, Persians, Greeks, Rome. That's 7, right? That is the 7. The 7 heads and the 10 horns. 10 horns is what? The 10 barbaric tribes of Europe, the dark ages of Europe that form what? The United Kingdom of Britain, which extended its border into North America, including Canada, United States, and South America. There you have it. That's your 10 toes, right? The 10 horns, I should say, 10 horns, 10 toes, same thing. Upon his horns were 10 crowns, and upon his heads the names of blasphemy. So each one of those tribes gave us their deities under different names that they merge them all under one name. But if you research, you'll find out that they're all connected. Fortuna, which is luck, Lucan, Gad, Zeus, Jupiter. I could go on for days. But the names of blasphemy, right? Verse 2, 13:2 says, the beast which I saw was like unto a leopard, and it had feet as it were the feet of a bear. See, he's breaking it down. And his mouth was as the mouth of a lion. And the dragon gave him his power and his seat and great authority. All right. And I saw one of his heads as it were wounded to death, and his deadly wound was healed, and all the world wondered after the beast. And they worship the white supremacists. They worship the dragon, which gave power unto the beast. And they worship the beast, saying, who is like the beast, who is able to make war with him? You got a figurehead, and you have a system that is operated through the figurehead. Right? Y'all not ready for this kind of truth. This is busting somebody's head open right now, I know. And there was given to him a mouth speaking great things and blasphemies, and power was given unto him to continue 42 months. That's 3.5 years, isn't it? 42 months. That's like a term. It's like a presidential term, wouldn't you say? 42 months. I never thought about it like that. Okay. And he opened his mouth and blasphemed against Elohim, and blasphemed his name and his tabernacle and them that dwell in heaven, and it was given unto him to make war with the saints, and to overcome them, and power is given him over all kindreds and all tongues and nations. And all the people dwell upon the earth shall worship him, whose names are not written in the book of life of the Lamb slain from the foundation of the world. If any man have an ear, let him or her hear. I'm not going to continue because I can continue reading and I can end up all the way at chapter 20. I'm not going to do that because I came on for the purpose and intent of doing a lesson on why the devil is mad because of the presidential elections. His reign is up. The jig is up. All right. So with that, brothers and sisters, I'm going to go ahead and close out this video. Pray that you got something out of this. If you have any questions or comments or rebukes, send me an email at morekabad, morehkabad @gmail.com, or ask Malachi, AskMalakiah, just like it is on the screen. Okay. Ask Malachi @gmail.com. And any comments or questions you have, listen, if you spam me or whatever, I'm going to deal with you accordingly. I'm not afraid of spam, but I'll entertain you if I feel like that I can drop some knowledge. Because I know I got haters, people that want to comment and stuff on the video and want to say, it's okay to be mad, but sin not. The Shaul thing said that. Be angry, but sin not. So that's my thing, brothers and sisters, is that I want you to, to be wise, use wisdom, and knowledge in these last hours. So until next time, brothers and sisters, I'm going to say shalom, shalom, shalom.